Hey everybody, welcome back to Money and Music. I am Doc. Today we're going to be listening to some heavy hitters in the finance and music industry.
If you can buy a soda, you can invest.
We own hip hop, but we don't own rap music.
What's the cliche statement? If you hang around 5 rich people, you'll be the 6th.
I listen to his music because he's talking about, hey, how much farther he wants to go.
And I tell people in my business, I turn dreamers into doers.
Thank you for joining us today here with Money and Music. I am your host, Doc Fuller, and today we have some real bosses in the industry. We have the owners of Achieve Her Network, Taja Muhammad Williams and Trish Smith. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I appreciate it today.
Of course. We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Well, I appreciate you all joining. So this series, as you're aware, every week we give new and engaging content, right? And it's about how can we engage the next generation with a different knowledge base, right? Equip them with jewels that we never got, right?
Right.
And so I canvass the world to get experts in their craft, right? And so you are two of those experts. I follow you guys on Instagram. I'm very in tune with what you're doing with your YouTube series. Tell us a little bit about Achieve Her Network.
So it is two parts. We have the Achieve Her Investing, which we offer e-classes, we offer courses on how to invest for beginners. And we also have the Mindset Achieve Her Coaching.
Right. That's what I lead most, is really about empowering women on the base. I mean, we're women. We have men in our groups on both parts as far as investing and coaching. But it's about just uplifting our culture and letting them know that no matter how much money they have or little they think or what they think they don't know or education status, they can have everything that they see. They just have to work towards it. So our thing is work towards her, work towards achieving her. And that's where the name came from.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because someone in our film crew, right, Day, asked me the same thing. Is that what can the person that necessarily doesn't have this big bag, right? They don't have all of this money. We're talking about students or even just an adult, right? They're living maybe paycheck to paycheck. They don't have this big sum of money coming in, and there's things that they definitely have to buy and things that they want and maybe some things that they need that they can't even afford. How can that individual get started investing?
So we encourage people to invest on a budget. And what we mean by that is the same way you budget out your bills and any expenses that you have, investing or saving needs to be a part of that budget as well. And it doesn't have to be much. You could start with $5 every paycheck or a month. It doesn't have to be a ton of money, but just do it.
Right. And, the basic thing for me is everybody has some money, right? And it's about what you choose to do with it. So again, that's shifting your mindset. Maybe I don't need this new pair of sneakers right now. I'm going to put this money up or put part of it up, right?
Right?
And that's the whole thing because all these people that we love to emulate, they didn't start with what they have now.
Right.
They had to start somewhere. So our goal is to get you started. And how we start first is the information, the knowledge, making you believe that you can. Because we didn't start with a lot of money, right? We're building towards that. I mean, we're in school as well. We're in college. Well, I would say grad school. Not a youngin', but, so that's the goal is believing you can and then starting on that and starting with whatever you have. And I'm talking about coins, literally, because, when you do options with us, you can start with little money.
Right.
So you have unlimited profit.
Right. And like so I started my kids investing. I didn't learn about investing. And I have 4 kids. I didn't start investing until I was in my late 20s. Okay. And so I remember I was in college and one of my colleagues, he basically, or college roommates, he basically said that his grandfather had set him up at a very young age with stocks. And he just he named off 3 stocks. And I was just interesting. And then I saw him trading and he was a day trader. And then he had a particular portion of his money that was in long-term assets and blue chip stocks. Right. And I'm looking in there, I'm like, this kid is 19 years old and he has 25,000. And he basically said that his grandfather put in maybe $500 when he was born. Right. and that stock just kept multiplying and
growing.
multiplying. So when you talk about being compound interested, right? Interested in compound interest, what does that look like when you talk about starting from a small beginning, right? You only have $20, you only have $25. How does that look like when you talk about options or even investing in the stock market?
Ooh. I mean, starting that early, well, first I'm going to say kudos to his grandfather because let me tell you, doing something like that for our kids, I have children, Trish doesn't just yet, but that sounds like relaxing and living your best life, like the kids like to say,
right.
But not having it tied to an age, right? Mm-hmm. Because where we live in this country, they'll tell you that you have to retire by a certain age. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily true at all, right? If you're talking about wealthy people, you can retire based on how hard you work early in your life. Mm-hmm. And see, if we focus more on working harder now, then you could live and chill later. But nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to play and, hang out and do all the fun stuff. And then they busting their butt later. Right. No. So here, I would say the compound interest for us is magnified because we talk about rates. We talk about getting in the stocks. We talk about option trading. And when you put in those little bitty increments in, or budgeting, as we call it, it's so big later. And people don't understand that. We didn't even start. You said your early 20s. We started 2 years ago. That's how new we are, and already see the big change it made in our lives, that we had to get it out to family and friends. So I would just say, kids, y'all run with this. We're not downplaying school like we said. We are, grad students, but that's not the key to wealth. All right. The information you get there is great, but the things that we're teaching here, they won't tell you in school. And that's what we need to, and that's why we're here to do everything we can to network with people and get the message out, because this is what they need to change their lives. And you can start anytime. You don't have to wait on school or anything else. This is money from the phone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. And one of the things that my wife and I, Christina, we did, we started just doing these automatic deductions from our checking account. Right. Mm-hmm. And so we have fractional shares that we're able to, right? So let's hit them off with the knowledge, right?
Look,
so you can buy Amazon stock. Amazon may be $3,600, right? Apple may be whatever it is, right? You can buy these stocks and buy fractional shares. You don't have to have $3,600 to buy one share, right? You can buy just a piece of it. Mm-hmm. So, but when the whole stock goes up 10%, right? That piece of it goes up 10%, right?
But tell them about that, all those little pieces while you're budgeting it.
It's the same with dividend paying stocks. It's the exact same. So you can do fractional shares for stocks that pay dividends, and you will get that fraction back in a dividend. So I was going to say, like, the action piece, like taking action on doing or investing in the stock market. Start with those fractional shares, like you were saying. And again, you don't need a lot of money to invest in options. So yeah.
And don't be modest, friend. Tell them how you budgeted your way up to Amazon.
Oh, I sure did.
There you go. I
have a whole Amazon share.
That's what's up.
So I think I got in at 29. That's when I finished. But
you said 2,900.
I'm
2,900.
Sorry. Yes, I got in at 2,900.
And she started her way through fractional shares. That's what people don't realize, because you just see the big picture. But you got to start somewhere, right? And my best way to connect it to students is you're in school, right? Like I said, we're in grad school, or she just finished, but I'm in grad school. Everyone sees the graduation at the end, right? But what we don't talk about are all those little tests, all those little papers, all those days, right up until that point. You got to do well there to get to the last point. And that's what she wanted. She saw the end goal wanting that share, but she started somewhere. And I saying, man, when I get $2,900, I'm gonna have an Amazon share. She said, no, I'm gonna take this $20 every 2 weeks and I'm gonna put it in there, or however she did it. And that's how you win. Is changing here first.
Yeah, and they call like the new generation, like the microwave generation, and like my daughter, she hates that kind of stuff. They just they say the new generation want it right now. They don't want to wait for it, right? They're into immediate gratification. That's why they call it Instagram. It's like instant, right? It's like they don't call it delayed gram. You know what I mean? It's like it's Instagram. They want it like right then and there, right? But like this immediate versus deferred gratification, I think if you look at some of the seasoned billionaires, right, there's many of them out there. Robert F. Smith is one of them, Black billionaire. these people didn't just get rich overnight, right? It was a process, right?
Right.
And so you got to do what you have to do to get there, and it takes time. We talk about like centurion mindset, right? Centurion mindset is like getting out of the thought process of that. We didn't want to make a flip in a year, 10 years. Like, let's get into the mindset 100 years. What can I do now to impact somebody 100 years from now?
Right.
And so I give a quick equation, and I've talked about it before on the program. We talk about what you can earn in the stock market. 100 years, doing $100 a month in the banks, making 0.5%, you make $144,000 in 100 years.
Right.
100 years in the stock market, investing $100 a month is $144 million.
I mean,
We're talking about that's the bag.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if you're not good at math, people, that's a huge difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just start there.
And I think back. I'm a hip hop head, right? So there's a rapper called YRN Youngboy, I believe, and he has this song talking about money on top of money. Money on top of money, right? And I think about that in your perspective, because you talked about dividends, right? So you have a stock, right? That stock is going up, but it's also paying you dividends. Right. So like you're making money off the stock and you're making money off the dividends. Can you explain what a dividend is?
A dividend is just a fraction of a company's profits that they pay you for owning that share.
Right.
So you don't even have to do anything to get that dividend except own the share. That's it. That's it.
Be a shareholder.
So,
and we call it the double play.
Yep, I was going to say that.
The double play.
Because you're getting money off the stock and you're getting money off that dividend. So.
And Achieve Her Network is doing major things, right? Not only are you doing the financial counseling and giving advice, right, to new investors. So you don't have to have a ton of money, right?
We're focused on the people who don't have hardly any money or think they don't. That's the thing. You think you don't have the money, but we really do, because if people really realize how much they make in a year, their mind will be blown. It's just what we do with our money.
Right.
That's the difference, And our age group, like we're not too far apart, is that, our parents told us about saving, but nobody said anything about investing, right? Just like with credit, my mom always told me about credit and said, the importance of paying your credit card on time, paying the balances off, right? I did that. But what about when you're done paying the card off? About keeping it, that longevity. That's the biggest piece in the game of credit, right? How long is the history you have on those cards? So it's
and what's
a lot
the balance
of things, right?
In available credit.
Yeah, so it's, it's just about maximizing your knowledge, and you don't blame your parents, you don't blame anything around you, but you have to go after things that you want. Definitely. And that's the thing. And what we tell people, it's at big time. I mean, now we have Google, right, in the microwave generation. The real piece is it's in the books, guys. I know we don't like to read sometimes, but it's in the books.
Chris Rock said something like the books are like kryptonite in the hood. He's like, no, not the books, not the books.
Yeah.
Look, it's okay. You don't even need a book. All you need is the internet.
That's right.
Look, you can do what's it called, where you just listen to the book?
The audio
book.
There you go.
The Audible, Amazon, right?
Yeah. Like you don't even need the actual book.
And I think one of the things people are like, oh, you have your doctorate, right? You do so many different things.
Right.
You're director, executive producer, inventor, investor, all of these different things. I don't know if the film crew can zoom down on my shoes. I bought these Converse for $30, literally like 5 years ago. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Like, I'm into investments. My money is going elsewhere, right? My outfit that I have on today probably costs about $50.
There you go.
But you can ask me how much I got in my bank account. In my bank account. And I think that's a different story, because I tell my daughter, I was just like, the money that you have in your investments and in your bank account and make you feel much more better and help you sleep at night more than like flossing for the gram.
That's
or
right.
like a lot of people are doing it for the gram, And so for me, I do little things, like I don't go into stores anymore. Like I know there's going to be impulse buys when I go into Walmart. You're going to buy stuff that are just impulse buys. I order online from Walmart, including my groceries, right? So I'm not getting all the junk food and all of this stuff. So now my bills are a lot less because I don't go in the store to see the stuff that's going to distract me.
You don't have impulse buy on Amazon? Oh, friend, I need that discipline like you then, because I am both like, I need that in the car.
No, so it's like with Walmart, like we used to spend a lot of money at Walmart and Target.
Yeah.
I go on there and only buy stuff I need now. And in the process, I save money. There's no impulse buys.
Right.
And like, I take that money, even though it's little, like my son, my 10-year-old son, name is Dylan. We set him up with an investment account about 3 years ago. He makes his own trades now.
Wow.
Through a particular brokerage company that's focused on kids. So
I love it.
So he makes his own trades. We only put in there because we have a lot of different things, including the 529 college plan. We have all kind of stuff for our kids, but we let them trade. We give them $25 a month to trade. He started 3 years ago. He has $6,000 in his account. Guess what he bought? He bought Roku. He bought Amazon. He bought Shopify.
I love it.
He likes Minecraft, so he bought Microsoft. He's buying the stuff that he knows and loves, right? And so I think for the novice investor, I think, a lot of people are overcomplicating it. Like, what do you love?
Exactly.
Buy what you know and love, but do your research first.
Right. I mean, I totally agree with that. And a lot of kids, you like sports, you like athletes, right? So then not only, they might not have a brand, but then they wear brands, right? So you focus on Nike, you focus on Reebok, Adidas, and then you think about where your parents grocery shop, right? You got Costco, you have, it's really endless what you can do. All the video games you play, like who holds them? Usually it's Microsoft.
Buy Roblox, right?
My daughter, look, that's the first thing she went and bought after
boss.
she took your course. And that's what she said, like, oh, Mommy, I have shares in Roblox. I'm a boss now. I said, you're right. You tell Doc about it.
Yeah. Ownership over consumership. Right. Save early, save often, and then teach others to do the same. Each one teach 10.
That's
so
right.
I gave you a few bars in there, but if you think about an artist or a genre of music, what's a artist or some lyrics that, when you're talking about being a boss or being an investor, that motivates you or is inspirational for you?
Who you go artist? Who you gonna say?
Let me see.
That's a tough one.
I have a ton of artists. 50 Cent.
Okay.
50 Cent. He always got something.
Yeah.
I want to say Beyonce always has bars about bossing up, and I love that.
Look, one of her famous lines, like, pay me in equity, right? You gotta love that, right?
Love that, yes.
And people don't understand how important that is, right? So she said, forget a check, pay her in equity.
Right.
I want a piece of the company. That's equity.
Right.
Right.
One of my favorites right now that I got from my sister following her Lil Baby is definitely one for the culture right now, especially in Atlanta.
Real talk.
One of my favorite lines is, he said, invest a couple mil and let my money work for me.
Ooh.
And guys, we understand your kids, right? You might not have no meals, but you got dollar bills. You can make them work. And that's any amount, because some of these stocks are trading under $10. That's what we'll tell, you all, and we tell our women too in our groups, is because it's about focusing on a budget, right? You don't need a lot of money, but you could turn those small investments into big funds. And we learned through option trading, right? So we kind of got in on the back end, where people say you start with investing and owning companies. That's not how we started, but I feel like you can start anyway. Our thing is get in, right? So we started with options, and then we moved the profits that we make from options to buying companies that we like. And then, we just keep flipping and flipping.
Yeah. So like buy some $30 shoes with no names and invest the rest.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, ladies, thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate everything. We're going to be following you guys, continuing to follow you. The Achieve Her Network. You guys are doing big things out there, including your clothing line that you have out there.
Yes.
With My Wife Loves Your Shirts.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Wanted to give that a shout out. But thank you for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing what the future is going to hold for you.
Same to you, man. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.